Nigeria, 1987. Federal Government College, Odogolu. A school that smelled like iron beds and boiled beans. A place where the nights were long and the rules were strict. Every student there knew the same thing. After lights out, you stayed in your bunk. You did not walk the corridors. You did not go outside. And you did not, under any circumstances, disrespect the night guard. His name was Emmanuel Okafor. They called him many things: the cripple, the quiet one, the man who sees everything. But those names belonged to the living version of him. What they call him now is different. Step, drag, step, drag. They call him the man who doesn't walk back. It is a Friday night in October. The harmattan has not yet arrived, but you can feel it coming, that dry edge in the air that makes your lips crack and your throat itch. The school is quiet, or at least it is pretending to be. In the senior boys' hostel, House 3, the pretending has already stopped. There are 5 of them: Rotimi, Chukwemeka, Hassan, Dare, and their leader, Tunde Adeyemi. Senior prefect, school captain, the boy every junior feared and every teacher pretended not to notice breaking rules. Tunde had a plan. He always had a plan. Tonight, they were going to the girls' hostel fence, not inside, just to the fence, to pass a note, to laugh, to feel alive in a school that treated them like prisoners. Simple enough, except for one problem. Emmanuel Okafor was on duty. Emmanuel had a ritual. Every night before he began his rounds, he would do the same thing. He would stop at the old mango tree near the junior block. He would remove his cap. He would hold it against his chest with both hands, and he would look up at the sky for exactly 30 seconds. Nobody knew why. He never explained it. Some of the junior students thought he was praying. Others thought he was checking the weather. But Mama Ngozi, who had worked at the school longer than anyone, knew the truth. Her daughter had died under an open sky a long time ago in another life, and every night, without fail, he looked up as if to tell her, "I am still here. I am still watching. I am still doing my job." He replaced his cap, he picked up his lantern, and he began to walk. He was not a large man. He was not an intimidating man. He was 51 years old with a left knee that had been damaged in an accident years ago, an accident he never spoke about. He walked with a limp that made a distinct rhythm in the night. Step, drag, step, drag. The boys had mocked that sound for years. They mimicked it in the dining hall. They laughed about it in the dormitory. And tonight, Tunde was using it as a timer. "When you hear the drag move past the main building, we go. We have 4 minutes before he comes back around," said Tunde. They listened. Step, drag, step, drag. Fading, moving away, the sound of a man who did not know he was being used. "Now," said Tunde. They moved. They reached the side gate in under 2 minutes. Tunde produced a key, stolen from the bursar's office months ago, a copy made in the market, returned before anyone noticed. He was good at that, at taking things, at never getting caught. The gate swung open with a low creak. They stepped through. And then, "Go back inside," said Emmanuel. The boys froze. Tunde recovered first. He always did. "Uncle Emmanuel, we were just," said Tunde. "Go back inside," said Emmanuel, cutting him off. Not angry, not threatening, just certain. The way a man speaks when he has already decided what will happen next. Rotimi stepped back, Hassan stepped back, but Tunde did not step back. "You going to report us?" said Tunde. Emmanuel looked at him, a long look, the kind that sees more than just the question being asked. "No, I'm going to watch you walk back inside, and tomorrow this will not have happened," replied Emmanuel. That should have been the end of it. It would have been with any other boy. But Tunde Adeyemi had never been told no by someone he did not respect. And in that moment, looking at this old, limping night guard blocking his path, something ugly woke up inside him. "You think I'm afraid of you? You're just the guard. You're nobody," said Tunde. Emmanuel did not flinch. He did not raise his voice. He simply held his lantern and looked at Tunde with eyes that had seen too much of the world to be moved by a teenager's pride. "Maybe, but you are still going back inside," said Emmanuel. It was those words, calm, absolute, unmovable. They were the wrong words to say to a boy like Tunde Adeyemi. What happened next took less than 3 minutes. 3 minutes that would follow 5 boys for the rest of their lives. 3 minutes that would leave one man dead in a corridor. And 3 minutes that would give birth to something that has never stopped walking since. Tunde spoke first. One word, quiet, ordinary sounding. The kind of word that should never carry the weight it carried that night. "Handle him," said Tunde. 2 words, not a shout, not a threat, said the way you'd ask someone to move a chair out of the way. Said the way you erase a person before you even touch them. 4 of them moved immediately. Dare did not. He stood very still for exactly 3 seconds. 3 seconds in which he could have said something. 3 seconds in which the night could have gone a different way. Tunde looked at him. Just looked. Dare moved. Emmanuel Okafor did not cry out. That was the strange thing. He did not beg. He did not scream. He did not call for help. He simply received it. As if somewhere deep inside him, he had already made his peace. As if the 30 seconds under the mango tree had been enough. When it was over, Emmanuel lay face down in the corridor between the gate and the junior block. His lantern had gone out. His body was still. His cap lay beside him in the dirt. Tunde looked at what they had done. He looked for a long time. Then he looked at the others. "We dragged him here, from the gate. That's the story. He fell. He was drunk. Nobody saw anything," said Tunde. One by one, they nodded. One by one, they walked away, including Dari, who had been given 3 seconds and used none of them. All except one. Later in life, Amara would try to explain what she felt in that moment. Not fear, not shock. Something with no name. Something like standing at the edge of a cliff and understanding for the first time that gravity has always been patient. That it has been waiting quietly beneath every step you have ever taken. She pressed herself against the wall. She did not make a sound. She watched the boys disappear into the dark. And then she looked at Emmanuel's body. And Emmanuel's hand slowly moved. She told herself it was the wind. She told herself that for a very long time. By 5:15 in the morning, the school cleaner, Mama Ngozi, found him. She dropped her broom. She did not scream. She was a woman who had seen hard things. But she stood over Emmanuel Okafor's body for a long, long time. Emmanuel was lying face up. His eyes were open. His expression was not one of pain. It was not fear. It was something she did not have a word for. Something like purpose. But that was not what made her go cold. What made her go cold were the marks on the floor. Long, deep drag marks, starting at the corridor entrance, ending where his body lay. As if something had pulled him slowly, deliberately, backward down the corridor. But his face was pointing forward. His body had not turned. His feet were pointing toward the gate he had been guarding all night. He had been dragged backward, but he had never turned around. Somewhere beyond the school fence, a rooster crowed. A second one answered it, then a third. The morning birds started up in the mango tree, the one Emmanuel stood beneath every night. They sang the way they always sang, ordinary, unhurried, indifferent. The world was continuing, completely, normally, without pause, as if a man who had walked faithfully for 19 years had not just died on the floor 10 meters away. As if the ground beneath the mango tree did not still hold the shape of his footprints. As if the sky he had looked up at last night had not already forgotten his face. That was the thing that broke Mama Ngozi. Not the body, not the drag marks, the birds still singing. The principal was called. The police came. A report was filed. The words accident and fall were used several times. Nobody asked the senior boys any questions. Nobody spoke to Amara. And by noon, the body of Emmanuel Okafor had been removed and the corridor had been swept. Life at Federal Government College continued as it always does, as if nothing had ended, as if nothing had begun. 3 nights after Emmanuel Okafor was buried, something changed in the school. Nobody could name it exactly. It was more like a feeling, a shift in the air after midnight, the kind of feeling that makes you pull your blanket tighter without knowing why. The new guard heard it first. He heard it and told nobody, because there are things a grown man in Nigeria does not admit to hearing in the dark. But the junior students heard it too, in House 1, House 2, House 3. The senior boys in the senior dorm heard it loudest of all, coming from the corridor, slow, deliberate, straight. The sound of something that knew exactly where it was going, something that had unfinished work, something that would never, not once, turn around. Step, drag, step, drag. He never walked back that night. He never will. In House 1, on the 3rd bunk from the door, a junior student named Kayode lay awake, eyes open, staring at the ceiling, listening. The sound moved past his window, straight, deliberate. It did not stop. It did not slow. It simply passed. Kayode exhaled. He told himself it was the new guard. He told himself the new guard also had a bad leg. He told himself a lot of things that night. But in the morning, when he got up to go to the bathroom, he noticed something. His left foot was dragging. Just slightly. Just enough to notice. He is still walking. He did not stop when this episode ended. He has never stopped. Not in 1987, not tonight. He is still walking. End of episode 1. Next episode, step, drag, the first one to hear it. The first rule of the curse: you don't know it has started until it already has.